Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we've got none other than Dee's Diner, the famous Charu from Maritzburg. Lucky to have you on the show, Wood.
Thanks, James. Pleasure being on the show as always, and looking forward to it because you got a busy show, and of course we're looking forward to speaking to Mike de Kock later on.
Yeah, that should be fun. We've got him talking to us live from Dubai. In fact, I put on the Winning Ways website that this is the de Kock sideshow, because we've got Diane as well afterwards in Women in Racing. We have that little feature, Women in Racing, which Slew puts together. Slew's quite a good producer.
I think that should be interesting because Diane, besides taking care of the baby, she's doing a lot behind the scenes, James.
Interestingly enough, I just heard that their daughter, Kirsten, got 3 A's in matric. 3 distinctions in matric. There are no brains in that family, so she must be a very hard worker.
James, fantastic. Well done to her. I saw the matric results. Nice to see a good pass rate throughout the country.
That's what it's all about. Let's go straight into our 3 to follow.
It's without a doubt the most important thing in the yard. The feed room is your engine room. At the end of the day, what you put into a horse is what you get out. And if you're not putting in enough and you're doing too much work, there's always going to be consequences to that. So you need to feed the best all the time. The game has changed from what it was 10, 15 years ago. The game has evolved. It evolves every day. And you need to keep up with the times. And basically, the food that EPOL are producing now is, in my opinion, without doubt, the best feeds around. I've found that my horses carry good condition. You're able to work them harder, and they definitely seem to recover better, and you're able to race them sooner. So, Mike, I know Mike, I work for Mike, and he always is looking at how to change and evolve. So, I have no doubt that he's put hours of study into the food, and obviously Rencha is a vital part of that, and she's also contributed massively towards what we feed now. And, for me, it's nice to wake up in the morning and know that you've got one less thing to worry about, because as far as I'm concerned, the manger is where it needs to be in my yard.
Right, well, we're going straight to Kenilworth. They had a juvenile race, the second race at Kenilworth on Saturday. And Justin Snaith stepping out the juveniles as usual. Let's hope they go on this year, because fillies like Agra really haven't gone and done it. She looked very good last year. Let's go and have a look at this juvenile race. We'll pick them up at the start.
Yeah, it's only Emily that we are talking about here. James jumps from draw 6 with Felix Kutsi up, and that's the horse in the yellow cap and the green body, just sitting off them. Nice to have Felix back in the saddle, James.
Yeah, he's a warrior, Felix, and he's sitting behind the leader, which is a stable companion, Luna Moon. It looked like the right horse in the betting, Luna Moon. It was the fancied of the two. And I like the way this filly ran on. She's got great action, as you say, one off the right-hand side in the yellow and green. She's under pressure now, and the winner is in front of her and actually going quite well.
Yeah, it seems like Felix still giving her hands and heels, right? He really hasn't pressed the button yet, and Sean Cormack's now asked the question on his filly, and she's going on with the effort. But yeah, very green, James, and you'll see Felix, he had to change his stick twice in the last furlong or so.
Yeah, here he tries to get her balanced again, because she's obviously lugging in, and then just gets her to run on a little bit at the death. And it was a good run. They beat the rest easily.
Yeah, I see the first two. They were about 5-6 lengths clear of the third place horse. And nice to see Sean Cormack also do well for Justin State down in the Cape. He's having a purple patch.
He's got rides for all the best stables that you want to ride for. He rides for a couple of really good ones, and he's doing well, Sean. And when you consider maybe 10 years ago, he was on the rocks. His career was over. Picked himself up. I think Laf gave him a big chance.
Yeah.
And he's done extremely well.
And let's not forget, he had a stint in Australia, went to Singapore, rode for Basil Marcus there, and he's come back and he's riding the crest of a wave.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one, and that is going to be at Vaal. I think we're going, yes. Race 2 at the Vaal. There was a filly called Catch. Now, Joey Soma backed one in the race, or there was money for it. But watch this one.
Yeah, that's trained by Scott Kenny Thatcher, jumps from draw 10, and Yeah, you mentioned that there was money for Madame Carla, and I watched this race, James, live, and there was lots of talk by the two presenters on course that Madame Carla could be the right horse in the race, but she was very green. She's in the Eustace Silks, but Scott Kenny's horse, Thatcher, looked the part, and that's on the inside, James, right on the inside, traveling well, up with the early speed, and you know, this horse wins effortlessly at the business end, but always going very well in the race, James, in front right now.
Yeah, she's a Cahal filly, bred by the Chell Foundation, the Turner Benson crew, and she's obviously a very nice filly. She'd had one run, she was fancied in that start. But look at Joey's filly, she's about 6th or 7th, going nowhere. She ends up running 5th, and I think she ran quite a good race. She might be worth following as well next time she runs Madame Carla.
Yeah, but this winner was in a race of her own, and the presenters mentioning that Scott Kenny is now relocated, I think, to the Val, and he's having a fantastic run with his horses. I think he had a double on the day there, James.
Yes,
so
he did. Yeah.
His stable's doing well.
I'm very pleased he's doing well for the Brookses. Connie Brooks, he's a nice guy and a good owner to have in the yard, and I think he supported Scott in his comeback bid. So let's move on from there, Dees, and go to Clearwood yesterday, where we pick up a horse called Blaze of Respect in the second race. First time of this, just watch this ride, because if it had gone straight and followed the horse that ended up winning the race, it might have ended up at just about winning. But this is a very interesting ride, and certainly worth having a close look at this one next time it runs.
I think well found here, James. The horse is on the inside. That's 1, 2, 3 from the inside, and you see Brandon Lorena now just shifting it across, trying to get to the middle of the track. First time out, I think the plan was maybe try and go to the outside, because Brandon's intention throughout the entire race was, I'm going to try and get this horse to the outside. He's now sitting, he's the horse with the white face. Now 1, 2,
about
3,
5 off the left.
5 off the left now, still coming to the outside. 4 off the left now, and you'll see him right against the outside running rail over the final furlong or so. And you can see Brandon now urging this horse along, the horse with the white face, now 2 off the left. Now he's right on the outside, James, and he makes a fantastic late effort.
When you consider that the horse had won very easily for John Finlayson, nice to see that arrive. But this horse, Blaze of Respect, ran on unbelievably. It ran over half the race course. And next time, it's a DuPont bred by Luxardo Stud. Next time it runs, I think you can be with this. This should be able to win in the right race, obviously. You know, we always tip these horses in 3 to follow. But you've got to find the right race. You've got to look at the race and say, well, this looks like the right race. Because sometimes these guys, you know, end up running them in the wrong race.
Considering that the winner kept a straight course, it only won by a length and a half, maybe 2 lengths. And this horse must have moved across 10, 15 lengths, James?
Well, it was drawn 3. It ended up drawn 20. So, you know, that shows you. And behind the field, it's not easy to make up that type of ground over sprints, you know. It was 1,000 meters. It's not like it was a 1,200 where you got a chance to really run on. I was very impressed with the run, and I think that next time if it goes straight, it should win.
I'm with you with that, James.
Okay, let's move on. We're going to have a look at the Blast from the Past. And the Blast from the Past this week is a 2012 L'Armorance Queen's Plate, where Gimme the Green Light had his day in the sun. This is really fun. And this weekend is the L'Armorance Queen's Plate. I think on the sister show that will be running before our show, probably, Justin Snaith is the big guest in Johannesburg.
Getting the best from a thoroughbred is largely related to training and its diet. Mike de Kock has mastered this critical balance.
Where is Mike de Kock?
Yeah, where
How
is
can
he?
we have a world-class racing event, no Mike de Kock?
Wherever you are in the world, to be competitive at the highest level, equine nutrition is first and foremost.
Mike de Kock, you're a living legend.
Tries to kick the lizards.
I've always wanted an edge over my competitors, and I have found the one place I can get that edge was nutrition. The game has been very kind to me, and I'd like to give something back. And so EPOL and I are making my international formula available to all trainers.
De Kock has always partnered with EPOL, and together they have developed his own formula, which is truly world-class.
The feed is based on many years of research, but now we've pushed the formula further to something that today is a world-class product. I promise you, trainers will see the difference.
Mike de Kock Feed from EPOL. Available now.
You know, No, sir. This is the finest fabric money can buy. Done. When you walk out of here, heads will turn. Care for a glass of champagne, sir?
Goes in, we're set to race, 1,600 metres. Gates are open, they've got him away to a perfect beginning. Gibraltar Blue along the inside, landed running, but Variety Club is wasting no time from an outside stall and he's scooting around them all to set the pace. Gibraltar Blue back at the rail, racing in second. Ebony Flyer is just in behind, he's third. Linkman settles in behind those fourth, then it's Gimme the Green Light and Chesalon. They being followed then by Bravura, the yellow cap is 3 deep on the outside of runners. Further back to Tales of Bravery and he's settling 8 lengths off this leader. Lion in Winter in behind that, Kiss Again and Fabiani is your trailer. Gibraltar Blue meantime has got to the lead and skipped clear by 3. Variety Club tracks her in second. Ebony Flyer a length and a half further back with Linkman along the inside. Bravura's in behind that, then Gimme the Green Light and Chesalon 6 lengths off the lead. Tales of Bravery is in behind that. Lion in Winter keeps that one company. Kiss Again and Fabiani, the two at the back, and 9 lengths would cover them. They're about to spin in the stretch with just over 600 metres left to go. The filly Gibraltar Blue is out where she likes to be. She's clear by 3. Variety Club is tracking her in second. Linkman and Ebony Flyer race just in behind those. Chesalon further back. Bravura starting to unwind a run and Gimme the Green Light is also trying to get into it. Meantime, Variety Club has come forward to eyeball Gibraltar Blue in front. They're a couple of lengths clear. Ebony Flyer is in behind those. Bravura's kicked on next. Variety Club has hit the front. Gimme the Green Light is coming out after him and Bravura is behind those. Variety Club is out in front and clear. Gimme the Green Light is now coming to make a race of it. Variety Club is running on empty. Gimme the Green Light is storming home in the centre and Gimme the Green Light gets up to beat Variety Club. They were then followed by Tales of Bravery. Bravura was further back. Ebony Flyer didn't go on with their effort. Raced behind those. Chesalon and then Kiss Again. Gibraltar Blue faded out of it. Lion in Winter, Fabiani and Linkman.
Back. I have clients at the office. I don't know what to do. Are you coming in at all today? Please ring me urgently.
Bravissimo is the leader. On the outside, Dr. Livingston. Tuscan's on the inside. Then Triple Play, Genuine Silver. Bravissimo is now being asked to run and get challenged on all sides. Down the inside, Triple Play. Bravissimo is in trouble now. Down the inside, Triple Play, Tuscan and Genuine Silver. But Dr. Livingston over the last 100. Bravissimo tries to fight back. Tuscan's on the inside. Dr. Livingston, Genuine Silver, Tuscan. Over the last 100 though, Dr. Livingston, Genuine Silver. Bravissimo is fighting right back. They get to the line. I think Bravissimo came back to win it. Bravissimo from Dr. Livingston and Genuine Silver. And Anton lost his stirrup irons right after the finish. Bravissimo was in trouble, came back and I think won it.
Well, it's a credit to a jockey like Anton Marcus and to the horse. So the horse showed tremendous courage. That horse was beaten. And if you had your money on it with Interbet, you would have got 13-10 or 14-10. It was 9-10 with the bookmakers. But just to get the cash when you're back, and he looked like the business.
James, at the 200, 300, you were throwing your ticket away, James.
Well, everyone was. There's no way that horse was going to win. You've seen horses like that. They get challenged, they get run out of it, they look like they're going to get beaten. And he ended up fighting back. The horse fought, and Anton fought so hard that he just collapsed in a heap after the race. Feet out the irons, call it a day. You know,
absolutely fantastic. I mean, that was a brilliant ride. And just chatting to Charles before the race, I didn't see it. In fact, you lost Anton at the 2,000 meter mark, and to walk him to the start.
Yeah,
also.
no, he's
got a mind of his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I looked the part on paper, James, but in the race, I think if you back this horse, you got one man to thank, Anton Marcus.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you back champion jockeys. They get them home for you, and he earned every penny of his riding fee riding that one. Let's go and have a look at current affairs. Well, don't forget the Queen's Plate if you're in Cape Town this weekend, and what a race it's going to be. Variety Club, Jackson Pomodoro.
Fantastic race to look forward to, and of course a fantastic race meeting. Lomaran's teaming up with the Snake Boys. I know Jonathan does a lot of work behind the scenes. The blue and white theme, getting all the people to the track. It's just grown over the years, James, and it's one of the leading race meetings of our calendar.
I see you got the theme on today, so you obviously
getting ready for the Queen's Plate.
Maybe they'll send you a few tickets, please.
Sure.
But pin your colours to the mast. Tell us what you think.
I think it's going to be a fantastic race. We watched.
We need winners on this show. We don't need fantastic races.
Looking forward to it. James, generally the big grade ones, we punt every day, James. We watch from the grandstand when you can't get on. If it's a difficult race, competitive race, I'll rather watch from the grandstand. Racing is every day, 365 days a year, James. Many other races to have a punt.
Can Jackson beat Variety Club?
I don't think Jackson can beat Variety Club over 1,600 meters. The spanner in the works could be Pomodoro.
Going to be very, very interesting. But let's go and pick up the first of our features. We had 3 features over the week, and the first one is a most amazing story. Royal Zulu Warrior wins the Labella Sprint. He came out he'd been retired, basically. He'd been sent to Lenny Taylor's farm in Moy River. He'd been retired, this horse, because he apparently was broken down that they didn't think that he would run again. Sent up to Candace at Combe Stable in Johannesburg. This is what happened.
White colours, Velberg's in the yellow, Mannequin after them, and then we go back Variometer 2 lengths off the leader. Royal Zulu Warriors on the stand side, green sleeves and orange cap. Mannequin's further back. Polar Moon in the blue has got 3 or 4 lengths to make up. Still Velberg the leader. Royal Zulu Warrior on the stand side looking to move in. Variometers there on the inside. Then Gold Sight further back. Polar Moon runs behind those. Royal Zulu Warrior takes the lead now with 100 to go. And we haven't seen Royal Zulu Warrior in a while, but this is now the boss. Royal Zulu Warrior by 3 lengths. Gold Sight, Velberg behind that, and Mannequin.
Well, not only was that impressive, but did you see the time of the race?
Yeah, I think it was 56, sub 56, James.
55.82. 55.82. This horse put them to bed. The best sprinters they can find in Joburg. Look, there are better sprinters all over the country than Joburg's got.
Sure.
But he put them to bed. And I'm thrilled for them. I think that, when you persevere with a good horse, that's the reward you should get. And well done to Lenny Taylor. I think he had a lot to do with it. Lenny's a supreme horseman. He wanders around in a cowboy hat, saddling a couple of poor bad horses every week. But he's always helpful, Lenny. He's just one of those guys that if you want to know something about horses, you can always ask him. You can't do worse than asking him.
Fantastic story, James. I also heard the same, retirement back from the farm, Joburg. But the story that also comes to mind is Carl Zechner was down and out in KZN, James. He moved up to Joburg. He rode this horse when this horse won on debut, and they reunited, and what a fantastic story that is also, James.
Yeah, Carl Zechner's done very well. I'm very pleased for him. He's a guy who worked very hard at Summerveld, and he deserves everything he gets. Shall we move on and have a look at the Flamboyant Stakes, New Year's Day? This was at Clearwood, normally at Greyville. Let's go and have a look at a superlative front riding display from Anthony Delpeche.
And Viva Maria still with the lead. Felix the Cat, London Olympics, then Approach Me. Down the inside, Chiquetti. Black as Black's going to make a run down the inside. But Viva Maria goes. Approach Me trying to throw out a challenge. Black as Black, Chiquetti. Behind that, Keep On Dreaming, Felix the Cat. Viva Maria still goes as they get to the 200-meter marker. Approach Me is on the outside, and then Keep On Dreaming, Black as Black. But Viva Maria holds them all at bay. Chosen Goddess tries to run on, but Viva Maria's got it won. Second place will go to Keep On Dreaming, Chosen Goddess, then Black as Black.
Well, there you are. Lammerskral bred and owned Viva Maria. She's won a group race now, and she also won the Willavington in the winter, so she's pretty good.
I think she's a class act, start to finish in the Willavington at Biggs Oars, beating the more fancied stable companion Ilabella. The race before this, Jockey Delpeche was clear on the national TV when we spoke to him that she's going to need it. And when we chatted to him, he had a fantastic day. I think he had 3 or 4 winners on the day. When we spoke to him about this filly, he said that you're going to see a different horse come to the races. He gave a confident ride from the front, not ideal conditions on the day, a lot of rain about there to keep off that inside running rail, but she did it effortlessly, James.
Yeah, it was weight for age terms, which really did suit her. She was the best horse in the race on the weight for age scale. And let's move on and have a look at the Peninsula Grade 2, which is always a bit of a guide to the Met, although it's a Group 2 race, and one wonders about how strong this field was. But a very good win for Vaughan Marshall. MJ Bielefeld, they're riding the crest of the wave at the moment. Vaughan always been a top man in the training ranks. Let's go and look at Hill 54.
Back on the inside, Hammy's Dynasty. 2 behind that comes Taipan and Cash Register. Those two side by side. They 6 lengths off that leader. Brown Penny, Punta Arenas. Ice Machine, Jet Explorer, Lion in Winter Still 3, Deep Black Wing. Political Playboy, Cask and Lycian Bolt will whip them in as they flatten for the run to the judge. 600 metres left to go in the Peninsula Handicap. Queen's Command in front, trying to make each and every caller winning one. Hammy's Dynasty, quick to move in and challenge. Hill 54's got a dream run up the middle. Taipan starts to kick. Brown Penny making progress along the inside rail. Punta Arenas deeper out. Then comes Jet Explorer. Line in Winter into the final 200. Hammy's Dynasty. But Hill 54 quickly draws up and draws into the lead. Punta Arenas up the outside is giving chase. In front, Hill 54 has taken the lead. Punta Arenas is trying to wear him down into the closing stages. But Hill 54 has won it. Punta Arenas second. Black Wing, I fancy, a short head in third. Tight behind that.
Well, also probably came out of that race the best was Black Wing. I thought that he ran a really good race from quite a long way off them. And if you're looking for horses for the Met, well, my outsider, as I've said all along, is Dubai Gina. She's running in the Paddock Stakes on the weekend. But I think Black Wing probably the horse that you can pick out of these to try and trouble the big 3 or big 4 in the Met. Can they trouble them?
No, I don't think so, James. Not from this field. This Hill 54 really won well, following up on that Algoa Cup victory. And Ingrid and Marcus Huster, they colours to the 4 again. They're just having another champion season. And Vaughan Marshall, MJ Bielefeld with the son of Captain L. He really won well. Yes, the others were closing in on him, but I think he's a decent horse. He'll take his place in the Met, and he'll be competitive, but James, there's some big guns there.
At these weights, it's very hard to beat them. In the Met's a conditions race, and it's very hard to beat the top horses in the Met, as you've seen year after year. Other news, Singapore, you're telling me?
Yeah, the Lazar, we're fond of him here. He used to race here in the Steve Sturley Silks, went up to Patro in Singapore, had a few problems. I know he had a tendon injury, but nice to see him win their big one there, the first feature of the new year, the Great T New Year handicap, and nice to see him back to winning ways, James.
Yeah, it was ridden by a Mexican, or
I think the guy's name is Bonella. Davy Bonella.
He actually rode in France for many, many years. Davy Bonella. He's a very good rider.
Yeah, and great for Pat Shaw, and I have it on good authority that Pat Shaw is still holidaying in South Africa,
Yeah,
James?
he's here. I saw him the other day. He's in great shape. Doesn't look a day older or than he ever looked before. But you see, that's what money does for you. You know, when you're as wealthy as Pat, you can have all the bells and whistles just to keep you looking young.
I don't know if you saw the interview with me with Charlie when your plum of the week won. He said the gentleman that got the cash, Pat Shaw.
Good for Pat. Good for Pat. And that horse Lazar, actually Mike de Kock bought him, took him to Dubai, and I think that he went wrong there, and then he decided to send him to Pat Shaw. I think that's how it all worked. He was going to go there for some races, but good luck to Pat, and lovely to have him come back here every year. The only other news that I could really find was Gary Stevens is making a comeback to the saddle at the age of 50 years old.
Oh, James, we got riders here now 50 plus, and they're doing superbly well. I mean, Felix, Jeff Lloyd now in Hong Kong. The guys are, 50 plus they're still riding winners all over the world and in the big races, James.
Well, he packed it in and he went into the film business. You know, Gary Stevens, he was the leading jockey in Secretariat. He did all the film. And he'd be a very good actor, but that lure of the saddle, they can't keep away from it, and he's going back. So we wish him the best in his new job, and hopefully he shows some of those Americans. I think he probably looked and thought Garrett Gomez, Ramon Dominguez, George Velasquez. He thought those guys, I've beaten them all before. They're at the top of the tree. I'll show them a little bit of what it's like to come back.
Similar to boxing, James. You just want to have one more bite. Can I get it on?
Yeah.
40 plus.
Yeah.
Most of the guys come back boxing. Difficult. In that kind of sport. But I'm sure with racing, if the guys are fit and well and they got their weight in order, you can still be very competitive, James.
No doubt about it. Well, we're going to move on to your call, and in your call, we're going to try and get Mike de Kock on the phone. So let's go and see what happens there.
Pierce commanding Jewel, winding up.
Find your next racetrack star at the Magic Millions Gold Coast Yearling Sale.
Atlantic Jewel. Nikita's clinging onto the lead.
8 of the past 10 Golden Slipper winners offered at auction was sold by Magic Millions, including the champion colt, Piero.
Piero drove through, took the lead in the slipper.
The best yearlings by the world's hottest sires offered at Australia's Holiday Playground.
Dear Demi.
For more information and to view the catalogue, visit magicmillions.com.au.
Well, none other than Mike de Kock in Dubai. How's it there, Mike? Hello, Mike. Nice to have you on the show. How's it in Dubai? Can you hear me?
Really good, thanks, James. I've just teed off for 2 pikeys. Otherwise, things are going very well.
Well, what did the pikeys do to you?
We've just teed off. I've got Betsy Cosgrove and Kieran Fallon on the golf course.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I wish I was there. God's truth, that would be unbelievable. Anyway, I've got Dees Dynan in the studio with me. What's it look like for the weekend?
James, we've got a few nominated. Final Button, Slick. They'd probably be my 2 best runners. M&E as well. Dee's a leader. They'll probably run. So we'll probably have about 4 or 5 runners.
And as far as riding arrangements concerned, you got Simeon back in the saddle for you?
Simeon will be back here, heading in rides, second and horses. Johnny rides, he's the leader. And that's about it. That's going to team will probably ride Final Button.
And just interesting, we were chatting earlier that that horse Lazar won in Singapore yesterday.
Okay, he won the week before last as well. I think he won a big race there.
So he's done very well.
Guy's done extremely well. Yeah, it was a pity not to get him here, but anyway, he's made up for Singapore.
No, Shaw needs some good horses. He needs a couple that can run a bit.
He's short of them, yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what would be the ones you'd fancy? Is there anything that you'd fancy there on the weekend?
I think Bushret, Final Button and Amity, I'm expecting them to run well.
Excellent. So,
Dr. Jones and most of them are going to go 10 in 11 months and layoffs, you know, so not easy.
Dees wants to have a quick word with you. Just tell the Parkies to hold on. You got to get their money early, but don't tell them to wait.
Mike, all the best for 2013. Mike, all the best for 2013. And, you know, just having a look at your website last night, I see you've acquired a few horses from Coolmore, Await the Dawn, and David Livingston, and they add a lot of ammunition to your string.
Well, I don't know how much ammunition they add, you know, they don't arrive exactly ready to go, you know, they've got a few problems and we've had to get them right, you know. So we're hoping that they'll get on the course sometime in the carnival.
Fantastic, Mike. How's Igugu doing? You know, unfortunate about Emotive. I read on your website, heat stress, you know, sorry about that, but how's the champion doing, Igugu?
Emotive's actually come very well. He's fine now. Igugu's doing very well. I'm happy with it. She run that third week of February.
Okay, Mike, well, you know, it's fantastic having you on the show again, and I wish I was there. Those Parkies, they're such easy meat. But you've got to get expenses. A boy like you, I know, is battling compared to them. give Fallon and Cosgrave my best, and have a great game, and we look forward to watching you with interest here on our television screens. Hope you have a great week.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Mike de Kock on the line from Dubai, and always fantastic to get him on the line, Dees. You know, he's so open to us and tells us what's going on. Unfortunately, what happens is that they enter today and they only declare tomorrow. So you never really know what's going on. But he tries to give the business. And he told me during last week, I was chatting to him, and he said he's got as good a string as he's ever had there. He says very, very happy with the horses.
It's been some time, you know. He started off in 2003, Mike, so it's a decade now, 2013. He's been there 10 years. He's gone through the changes, you know, Nadal Sheba, Maidan. Every year he's had success, James. You know, guys here, our trainers have given him horses to take care of, and he's done the business for them. And looking at the string, you know, horses like Shay, the Apache, Soft, Falling Rain, of course, Igugu. You know, just some of the names of our South African horses that we'll be looking forward to racing there. And I think it's going to be a fantastic carnival for Mike.
Yeah, it's interesting that the champion from Mauritius is still there fighting on, you know. So it's just a string of horses that when you look at them, quite well balanced. And I think, you know, if everything falls into line, and that's always the key, you know, he's had some years that it really hasn't fallen into place, but everything falls into line with all the problems in getting these horses there, because remember, they left here in August, okay?
Sure.
We're now January, and they've spent this whole time in a sort of, in limbo, with nothing to do. People don't realize how difficult that is. Sit on the beach in Mauritius, then they go to Dubai. And he's been there putting the touches to them for the last, basically, a month. He's been there nearly a month, on and off, getting those horses right.
Yeah, that's why, you know, when our horses go and do well internationally, and, you know, with the trek that they go through, James, under those conditions, it's just a marvelous achievement, to say the least. And I'm really looking forward to this year's carnival, especially if Igugu takes to the synthetic, because then we could have a massive World Cup night. I'm sure Michael will try her back home at the training tracks and see if she takes to the surface, because, you know, on turf she's different class, but if she takes to that synthetic surface, we're in for a massive carnival for Mike.
Well, let's go and have some fun at the carnival. As far as you're concerned, Dees, enjoying the racing, KwaZulu-Natal, things look like they're stepping up here?
Yeah, fantastic. You know, the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is back racing at Greyville, James. And by the time this show is aired, which will be Monday evening, you know, we hopefully will be Tuesday night racing at Greyville, because the Big G, for me, my favorite course, not that I'm a KZN boy, but just my favorite course in the country, James.
Well, let's just hope everything falls into place because, you know, it's always been fraught with problems fiddling with the racetrack, and especially right in the middle of your hard racing surface, 250 meters to run from the finish. The horses are flat out, and I really hope that everything works out. You know, these guys made a decision to do this, and it's looking good. They're having a gallop this morning, but the track looks in magnificent condition, and let's hope that the horses take to it, because the big thing is the horses. Horses are what it's all about. You hate to see a horse go wrong or get hurt, which is very worrying to me. I think it's a big problem. But anyway, that's well documented, and let's see what happens at Greyville tomorrow night. But we're going to move on. We're going to be chatting to Diane de Kock in the next segment, and before that, and we're going to sign off these because we'll just let them run that little interview that they did with Diane de Kock. Before that, week's racing with Dubai now on Thursday night, just Tuesday night at Greyville. It's going to be fantastic. And then we've got the Queen's racing Plate on Saturday.
Paddock Stakes, Beach Beauty. We'll be rooting for Beach Beauty in the Paddock Stakes. Nice to see the Shanks Syndicate have a winner over the weekend. And yeah, let's see how it goes. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, James.
Yeah, well, you know, before we go into there, we're going to just have a look at the big Magic Millions winner this week, and my goodness, it was a big winner. So let's pull that up on the screen, and that was Sunshine Rock. She won the Laissez-Faire Stakes at Kenilworth. She was sold for reputedly quite a lot of money, and she was bought at the Gold Coast yearling sale for $35,000. So she cost $350,000. She's won, I think, 4 out of 5 this filly. She's by Rocket Gibraltar. My goodness gracious, out of a Desert Sun mare, this filly is worth millions and millions of rands. And she was bought at the sale, which is why you're here, because Laf's attending the sale at the moment. He's out there getting ready for the Magic Millions sale, which is over this week. And we wish him all the best, all the South African buyers. I hope they buy some nice horses. And remember, Magic Millions. If you want to buy a horse, give Laf a call, send him an email. He'll be able to organize it there for you at the sale. We're going to move on, and thanks, Dee, so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, and we did one take this time, which was good, eh?
Dr. James, I think we are close to that 95% now. Just the one mishap one day, which I'll never hear the end
You'll
of.
Never live down. Yeah,
I'll never hear the miss. Well, it was 95%. I mean, it's like 3A's, James.
3A's. Let's go and look at the mother of the 3A student, Diane de Kock, in Woman in Racing.
I was born in Cape Town to a racing family, and I grew up in Milnerton. My father was a jockey, so it was kind of in my blood already to go into horse racing. My younger sister and I, because we were 5 girls, but the 2 youngest, we always wanted to ride, and my father didn't want us girls to ride. So we nagged, and eventually he let me ride work for my uncle. So I started riding work in Milnerton for my uncle. And then I rode in, they used to have amateur racing there called Cape Hunt and Polo, and I rode in a few of those races. You train your own horses. And then I started riding in ladies' races. Carol Woodruff, she was Carol Millard. She wanted to be a jockey, and they wouldn't allow women jockeys in those days. So I think it's much easier for women to get more involved in the sport now. My father was very humble. I think you must remain humble. You can't get ahead of yourself. He was a wonderful man, and he was a champion, and he was always the same, and he was a really good man. I moved to Johannesburg, and I got a job with James Goodman as an assistant trainer, because prior to that I used to ride work for Terence Millard in Cape Town. We met at Randkiesfontein when I worked for James Goodman, and Michael was working across the road for Robbie Sage.
Champion trainer of South Africa.
Well, I saw him at track, and I thought, he's not a bad-looking chap. And then when I got to know him, we also had a lot in common, lots of the same interests, and we used to play squash together. That was our first date. And we've been married 20 years. Well, it started off where I just used to ride work for Michael many years ago, and work in the stable. And then I started doing the breaking in of the yearlings. So that is my department. So I break in all the yearlings and I prep them and get them to a point where they're fit and ready, and then I pass them on to Michael. And just make sure they're well schooled and ready to go into racing, into the mainstream. I bond with a lot of them because I break them in and build up a close relationship with all the babies. But I suppose good ones like Igugu and horses like that will creep into your heart because you spend a lot of time with them. But Ilabella's also got a special place because I broke her mother in as well. And she's got a very similar nature to her mother. There's a lot. I could name a lot of them. I just can't think of them all right now. And like Mother Russia, I had her sister as well. And it's she was difficult, so you get closer to them if you have to work more with them. So I can't name individually, but they're all very special to me. I'm at work every day, working hard, and if I look at my daughter, for example, she teaches me a lot of lessons as well, because she just has so much work and she just keeps going and she never complains. And also, it doesn't help to complain. That's what life teaches you. You shouldn't complain. Let's just carry on and accept what it gives you.
There's always one thing that's certain, class will prevail.
Michael worked with really good trainers and all, Mr. Ferraris and Ricky Howard Ginsburg, and I think also keeping yourself in good company. And hopefully, because our son is hoping to follow in his father's footsteps, so hopefully we can pass on some knowledge to him too. I have a good relationship with all our staff members, especially our grooms, and we've lost a lot of grooms to HIV/AIDS, and I decided to try and do something about it, well, to the best of my ability that I could do. And about 4 years ago, we got a company in to do HIV testing at Randjiesfontein, and we had a good result, a good turnout with people coming to test. And then this year, the RA, Racing Association, have given us money to do testing in Johannesburg. We went to the Vaal, Turfentine and Randjiesfontein again. The grooms appreciated that the Racing Association and the owners were trying to help, you know. But I still want to carry on with that and go further with it, with the whole program. Goals, I think, with the HIV, trying to get funding for the testing this year, and I achieved that, and I was satisfied with that, and appreciate the Racing Association for everything they've done. I like to travel. I like to go. Next year I want to try and go to India. I really like to travel and go on holidays, actually. I enjoy going to Mauritius, and we seem to go there quite often, like maybe every year. I just find it's the most relaxing holiday. You can just relax, chill on the beach. And also I enjoy going to America, like Kentucky, where we went and saw Horse Chestnut when he was there, and also Chicago, and we went to the Breeders' Cup in California. That was excellent. And I enjoy those kind of holidays. I share my joys and pains with my children and my husband, because we're a very close family. I'm close to my children. And also my sister, I have a sister in Cape Town who I'm very close to. And a day doesn't pass without that I don't talk to her. So we share a lot. I do something every day after work. I go and do my yoga and do my gym. That's a good way for me to unwind. I'm grateful for my wonderful family, my two beautiful children that I have, that have always just been absolute pleasure, for my wonderful husband, for my health, and also the family, the extended family that I've married into, and my mother and my sisters, I should say. Those are my blessings every day. I'm very content with my life. I'm happy, and not a lot is getting me down at the moment.
one of the biggest millions I've ever seen. Graceful Anna, the leader. Graceful Anna. Graceful Anna.
Interbet gives you a unique perspective on the event you wish to wager on. The trading screen provides a complete status picture, enabling you to make a more informed decision. For example, take a look at the percentage at the top of the back column. The closer the number is to 100%, the higher the overall wagerings become. If you watch this number over time, you will see that it starts off relatively high and drops as the race time draws near, improving the betting position right before the race. To see where the action is taking place, you can see the odds column to see the situation for each horse. Green means that there is more money on the horse and therefore the odds are shortening. Red means that the odds are drifting, and black means that there has been no change. You can use these trends to better anticipate where the market is going and make more informed decisions when placing a bet on request, for example. Remember that as the race time gets closer, there is a chance you will run out of time and that your bet on request will not be confirmed also increases. Wagering on horses requires knowledge and luck, and we are here to help you gain the knowledge and get up-to-date information so you can make far more informed decisions and get an action-packed experience.